Greetings and welcome, second semester online English 12 students. This class has 36 of you. So this first week of second semester, you're just supposed to be, getting familiar with expectations, reading the policies, etc. for online work. I'm guessing most of you have taken online classes with other teachers before. Anyway, I'm just welcoming you and letting you know things that are maybe a little bit different for my class. This is my third year of doing online English 12, and my first year I learned really quickly to have deadlines. So I go usually 1 to 2 weeks at a time, and I will lecture a lot and talk about things that are important and what you're learning, and try to point out things that you need to know. But you only have a couple of weeks to turn things in at a time. So what I want you to hear is that you do not have the whole semester just to turn stuff in whenever you want. When a week is closed out and work has been turned in, it's done, and you won't be able to see it anymore. Another thing you should know is the final at the end of my class is comprehensive, which means it covers the whole entire semester. The final exam you come in person for, and that is not open note. The English department has a policy that we're not supposed to let kids use notes on the final, but my other tests on the literature are open note. So you should be taking notes on all the stuff that we read. You can use those notes on the test, but I think more importantly is they'll come in real handy at the end of the semester if you go through your notes before the final. You're 3 times more likely to remember something when you write it down, because you have to read it, you paraphrase it in your mind, and then you write it down. So it's almost like you've already visited the information 3 times, and then you have it in front of you. And just a rule of thumb, especially if you're going to college next year, you should be taking notes all the time in all of your classes, whether or not you get points for them or not, because it's really helpful. Okay, so that's that. So you don't have forever to turn work in for me. I'm expecting you to watch videos when I make them, and I'll try to not make them super long. And I really love when kids ask questions. So that's one thing that I miss about in-person classes for you guys, is that, you can't really ask questions in the moment and hear your peers' questions and things like that, but you can always reach out to me via email or through Brightspace, and I will answer your questions for you. Not a lot of people ask questions, and that's what I'm here for. They pay me to answer questions about English literature. Your textbook is myhrw.com. And you should be able to access that. It's got tools also, like you could listen to things, but I also will put PDFs so you can just flat out read the material in case there are glitches, which of course sometimes there are glitches with the online textbook. So it's one textbook, and then we'll read the novel Fahrenheit 451 at the end of the semester. Your textbook is created for a year-long class, but you're only taking this for a semester. And so instead of all 6 units in your book, we're reading 3. Unit 1, Unit 2, and I think it's 5 has Hamlet in it. So 1 and 2, 5, and then we finish the year with the novel. And then there is a separate vocab program that you'll have words on Mondays and tests on Fridays most of the time. And then finally, you should have a book or something that you read for pleasure once a week. My in-person classes will do that starting on week 4. On Fridays after their vocab tests. I think that's it. Oh, this week. Okay, so for this week, not a lot's going on in my in-person classes either. However, I am asking everybody to take the FastBridge reading assessment, and I'll put the link for that in d2l for you. And that just measures where you are at your reading level. So it really doesn't hurt or help you in any way, it just helps us to know how to plan. And then I'm going to be talking about writing, because your first assignment for me is a narrative essay. It's a required essay for the class, and it's one we call it a formal essay because there's lots of steps. You'll do a first draft, edit that, a second draft, and then you'll turn in a final and then I will grade that, give you feedback, and then you'll have a chance to make the corrections for a higher grade. And so like three different times you'll get a chance to get a better grade on the essay. And then after that, we jump into the textbook. So on Friday of this week, I'll be talking about when writing is really, really important, more important than other times. And the answer to that would be for jobs, resumes, cover letters, and also for college applications. And if you're not doing any of those, maybe you have a wealthy family and you have a job already with them and you're not going to be applying for jobs or you're not going to school, I think it's important to write a good love letter too. If you have that significant other, you don't want to look like, you don't know what you're doing. You got to look smart. What do they say? People tend to find people that are of the same intelligence as they are. So I always say, if you want a smart partner, you have to be a smart partner. All right, so that's it. Just the FastBridge reading assessment, get to know D2L, and then we'll be talking about writing and preparing for you doing the writing assignment starting next week. All right, hit the ground running. Good luck.